Hello everyone, I hope you're doing alright. Today's going to be an in-depth tutorial as to how I crochet this zip-up jumper. I have already filmed and posted the first part of this tutorial where we went through how to create the collar and the main body of the jacket. So if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and watch that first. But in this video, we're going to be going through how I crochet on sleeves and add my zipper. I'm not going to go through materials and stuff because we did all of that in the first part of this tutorial. So let's just get straight into things. We are ready to add our sleeve. What we're doing to build up the sleeve is very similar to what we were doing to build up the main portion of the body of the jacket. But obviously we're going to run into a few problems on the way. So I'm going to show you how I start off these rows just to make sure everything is nice and symmetrical and looks nice and neat. Before we're ready to work on our sleeves, we first want to make sure our piece is facing the right way. And how we're going to do this is, if we remember these side panels, we want to continue kind of like the flow of changing rows each row. You want to make sure that the side that's facing you is the right direction, that if you were going to go round it, you would be working in the opposite direction. So you can see this is the right side for me to enter into. And you can see that if I was going to work this side, I'd be working in the same direction as my previous stitch. So I've got the right side facing me. Now you've done this, you next want to find the center point in this part of your sleeve. If we remember, this part of our project is where we built up those chain stitches before we crocheted our body part. You want to first start off by finding your center stitch. You want to enter your hook through the loop that you didn't work into when you started building up this body. So for me, this is the back bump of my chain. As long as you've got a loop to work into, it doesn't really matter too much. We're going to start off our sleeve with a slip knot, and I'm going to pull that slip knot through that middle stitch. I'm then going to yarn over and pull through. I'm then going to hold on to the loop on my hook and tighten that stitch to secure this yarn. And I'm going to chain 2 to start my linked double crochets. As we've always done, I'm going to pull up a loop from that first chain and then re-enter that stitch that we've already done our chain into to do that linked double crochet. I'm going to be doing 1 stitch into each one of these chains up until I've reached that final chain. So I'm working in my final stitch, and you can see we've reached kind of a funny point in our round where our next stitch is right here. So this is the stitch that I did my final increase into before I then did this chain row. So I am going to enter my stitch just kind of somewhere in here. You could work 2 stitches into this point, but I'm just going to work in 1, and I could work into this part of the stitch here, but I'm going to work into this part of the stitch right here. I'll enter my next stitch into this stitch right here. And now obviously things become easier because we're just going to be doing 1 stitch into each stitch. And this is what I was talking about earlier, by making sure that your row is facing the right way, because obviously I'm working into this row the opposite direction that it was worked, which will maintain the pattern that we've got for this whole jumper. Let me just complete this bit because obviously it's pretty easy, and we'll talk about what to do the opposite side. I've worked around my sleeve and I'm entering into that stitch that mirrors the stitch that we started in. To mirror the stitch on the other side that I kind of did into this point here, I'm going to find a somewhat similar point, so maybe around here, to do my stitch, then working into the loops of the chain stitch that isn't worked into at the bottom of the sleeve. And normally we would slip stitch these 2 together. But with a linked double crochet, I think it's going to be easier not to attach the start and end of the row, but work it up as a panel and sew it later. We're continuing what we've done for the body panel, where we're going to start our row by chaining 2 and turning our work, pulling up a loop from that first chain that we've done and then working in my first linked double crochet. We're just going to work our rows like this up until we get to the point where we want to add our ribbing. We want to continue these rows up until we reach our ideal length, obviously accounting for the fact that we're going to be adding ribbing. I'm not going to do any decreases because I am kind of happy with how the sleeve looks like without decreases. But if that's something you want to do, you can go ahead and do that. Maybe slightly tapering the sleeve would be a good idea if you're going for an oversized jumper. But because I want to do quite a big portion of ribbing on the sleeve, I don't really think I need to worry about this too much. Anyway, we're now ready to add our ribbing, which I am doing the exact same thing that I did in the body portion. The only difference is I'm going to start off with a chain of 21 and my ribbing is going to consist of 20 slip stitches. As mentioned before, you can customize this number to your ideal length, but I would keep in mind that when ribbing is used, it does generally shrink, so I would overestimate this measurement rather than underestimate it. We are ready to seam our sleeve together. Obviously, there are so many different ways that you could do this. I'm just going to show you my way. This is what my sleeve is looking like and I'm pretty happy with it. I've left this long end attached just because instead of sewing these two seams together, I'm going to slip stitch this just because I think it will create a little bit of a neater seam. First, make sure your bad side is facing outwards, and to attach this ribbing, I am going to go through the back loop of my last row, and then through this back loop I'm going to pull up a loop and I can re-enter, and I'm going to find the corresponding stitch on the other side. So this is the chain row that we started off with. I'm going to find the matching stitch, and for this one I'm going to go through the two loops that I wasn't working into when I was first working into this chain length. Then I am going to slip stitch and do the same thing with the next stitch where I go through the back loop of my last row and the two loops of the chain row that I didn't work into before slip stitching. I'm just going to continue this down the ribbing and then I'm just going to slip stitch together these two pieces. Once we reach the linked double crochet stitch, I am just slip stitching the first and last stitch of each row together. Now obviously you can do what I'm doing or you can seam this up any way that you prefer. Just make sure everything is as neat as possible and you kind of match up each row to each other just to make things nice and symmetrical. Now the main portion of the jumper is finished. We're ready to add our zip. But before I did that, I decided to add a little trim just to make everything a little bit neater, which was just a surface crochet, and then I did a slip stitch row just to kind of bulk it out a little bit. There's a lot of different things that you could do to kind of disguise the edge. So just do whatever you want to. A single crochet would also work, but however you decide to neaten up your edge, we are ready to now add our zip. So I couldn't really think of a better angle, so we're just going to work with this. So we have my zip. Before I've done anything, I have tacked down the top and the bottom of the zip. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and pin this evenly to both sides, trying to match up everything as evenly as possible. Moon. I have pinned my first side. Now, this is the first time that I'm doing this, so I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but to kind of match things up the best that I can, I'm gonna try and sew this as evenly as possible, and then I can just match up rows to pin the other side. So let me go off camera now and work at this, and then I'll join you for the other side. So I realized that I didn't check that the zip was suitable for the jacket, and it didn't separate at the bottom, so I actually couldn't end up using that zip. I did stick with the white zip that I wanted to use at the start, and I used the same method of pinning using the start and end of the zip, and then just did a few in the middle and just tried to match up everything as best as I could. We finally have a finished zipper. I could have filmed me doing this, but to be frank with you guys, I probably redid this zip around 4 or 5 times. I did tell you guys this was my first zip installment, so it was definitely a learning curve. What I found successful is using the same yarn that I used to crochet and sewing everything in with that. I just felt when I was doing it with the thread, it probably would have worked if I used a sewing machine or I was just a better hand sewer. But yeah, it just wasn't really sitting how I'd want it to, so we went for this instead. I do have a little bit of an issue with the slip stitch border that I was sewing into. It's kind of become a little bit zigzaggy. But to be honest with you guys, I don't want to do too much sewing in this part just because with me using yarn rather than thread, it does mean that this zip can get caught and it is quite a big zip. So could it be more perfect? Yes, but I've got it to a point now that I can wear this out and feel good about it, even though it's not 100% where I would want it to be. But basically, long story short, with the zipper, I did 1 row of hand sewing and then I did another row of hand sewing to tack down the kind of outer part of the zipper to stop it from flapping and moving about. And then to conceal the zipper, I was going to use the same yarn as I have for this jumper, but I had run out. I tried knitting something, I tried using slip stitches. Really, there was just no way that I could cover this area of zip with the amount of yarn I had left. I've done it in a white cotton just so it matches the white zip, which isn't ideal, but I actually do kind of like the way that it looks. I would give you tips, but I don't necessarily have one. I just think with zips, it's the more caution you take and the longer you spend on it, the better your outcome's gonna be. So yeah, the jumper is done now and it looks really cute, but obviously it does need a good steam. I also did sew in my ends, which I haven't shown you, which I feel like it's pointless for me to show you sewing my ends, but the one thing that I do want to give you guys as a tip is when you're sewing in ends with something that isn't like a wool, where it's going to kind of naturally grip because of the nature of the fiber. So for example, this bamboo and acrylic mix doesn't have a lot of stick when you sew in your ends together. This also does happen with cotton, but what you want to do with these kind of fibers is when you're working your needle back and forth, you want your needle to go through the yarn that you weaved in the last time that you sewed your end in. And what this does is it kind of like knots and anchors down that end, so it's going to be quite hard to come out, rather than almost like weaving in an end where you can just kind of tug on the string and it's going to come undone. So we are going to steam block this and I'm going to pin it to some boards and I will come back to you guys once we've done all of that. But no, I do think I'm going to wear this piece quite a lot. One of my goals for this year is to make more clothing pieces that I will get frequent wear out of, because as you guys can probably tell, I like to create quite elaborate clothing, but it does mean that I wear it a little bit less. So I don't always wear my crochet pieces, which is kind of frustrating. Right, I'm gonna stop blabbering. Let's get on with blocking. It's the next day and my jumper has finished blocking, so we are now ready to do a final try on. I'm not gonna lie, the process of making this jumper was a little bit rough. Me not having enough yarn and me having problems with the zipper were two things that kind of made this project a little bit less enjoyable. And I will say, working with a linked double crochet for this amount, seeing as I don't normally work with a link double crochet. Did get a little bit monotonous at points because I don't find it as flow state as other stitches that I guess I'm more used to, but I will say it's all worth it for the finished product. I am going to try it on now just so we can get kind of a final look at it and we can see what the blocking has done to the fit, and hopefully it fits a little bit nicer. So let's do that now. And this is what the final piece looks like now that it's been blocked. So I can definitely tell that there has been an increase in the length and the width of the body. Also, the sleeves definitely fit a lot nicer. I'm not going to lie to you, for the fact that we were running out of yarn and how much I struggled with that zipper, I think it's come together really nicely. I will say though, working with a linked double crochet, it's not necessarily a stitch that I use a lot. I feel like this took me a lot longer than a jumper would typically take me if I was using a stitch that I was like more comfortable or familiar with. But I do think a linked double crochet does work really nicely for this piece, so I can't be that mad. But I'm definitely not going to use a linked double crochet anytime soon. This is what it looks like at the back, nothing special. But yeah, I just think this is really cute. Let me know what you guys think. If you end up making your own version, make sure that you tag me so I can see it. I feel like this is the kind of project that you could not only experiment with different fiber choices, but you could use a different stitch, or you could use more than one color. So I would love to see what you guys come up with. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you're interested, I sell written patterns on Etsy and Ravelry. Also make sure to like, comment and subscribe because I post new crochet content every week. Also go ahead and check out my other social medias. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and I will see you in the next video. Bye.